There we go. Now we're fully officially live on all places and all times and all things.
That only took 12 minutes.
Yay. So welcome everyone to the Foolish Tech Show. Join us at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live if you're watching from YouTube or Google+. You can jump in our IRC chat from there, talk with us directly, ask us questions about our software, and we'll provide support. If you just want to talk about general tech things, we're more than happy to talk about that as well. And sorry about the delay for today. YouTube, you're not going to see that because I'm going to cut it out before you get to watch it. But otherwise, how's everyone's week going? We're halfway through. Don't all respond at once.
Oh, my week is going very well. It's been busy trying to be productive and adjust myself to not going to school anymore and having some more time to devote to our business activities here. That's been very good. I've also tried to improve the focus on customer service, as always. That's a area of continual improvement. And trying to just further get to know our clientele, even our existing clientele, understanding what they're going through on a daily basis a little bit more closely, and hope to work with Proctor to see that with the use of our software. And we've also been working on, I'm sure others will mention, finalizing testing on Crypto Prevent version 8, which we're also very excited about, as well as Kill 'em all and D7 based on d7x technology. Yeah, I'll be quiet now.
Thanks, dude. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good. The first good thing he said all day.
It's the only good thing I've ever heard him say.
Come on, please. That's
entire
cruel.
lifetime.
That's a cruel statement.
I've known him for years.
Please, you're making me feel a little bad, poorly. I know I should not let you control my emotions that way, but I care for you all and I value your opinions. So, but life is a process of continual education and improvement, and I'm not as far along in some areas as I would like, as maybe I am in others, and I need to balance that out. So I'm going to try to do that.
Cool.
Okay then. Thanks for that also insightful thing and just deducting from what you did so well from before. Anyway.
Okay.
So what's up, guys? What else is up?
Christmas, man. Lots of stuff to do. Gosh, man. Lots of personal.
Always is, isn't there?
Lots of stuff that mean I can't work like I want to. Holiday stress, travel.
Are you coming to this area for Christmas?
I don't know. Jade is. I don't know if I am. It just depends. I want to be here the day after because I get Wyatt the day after.
Gotcha.
So it depends on when she's going, because I thought she was not going until Christmas Eve or the day before Christmas Eve, and I was like, gosh, and she doesn't want to come back until after. And she wants, and I want to go. I want to go to her dad's thing, shindig, on the day after Christmas too, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
How long do you have Wyatt?
I'm not really sure of that either. I was just looking forward to the day I got him.
Yeah, I hear you. Maybe you could bring him up here and go to the shindig.
That's a possibility.
That would be fun. What's the shindig?
I don't know, just a family gathering. But her dad's family, I mean, well, actually all of her family is really cool. But her dad's family, they like to throw loose a little bit, I think.
Mm. So apparently in the news today, the major 3 social networks have agreed to delete hate speech from their websites within 24 hours in Germany.
Yeah, well, there's also the right to be forgotten stuff, and that's sort of related loosely to this, right? I mean, European beliefs tend to typically be a little bit more socially oriented, and they definitely, it doesn't surprise me, I guess I should say, that they're doing that. But I also believe it's inappropriate speech, and I don't think should be necessarily banned. But I mean, these are it should be. I mean, a private business wouldn't allow hate speech to occur within the confines of their store, right? And so let's consider Facebook, whatever, or Twitter, or whatever, to be a store, a business, a place of business, let's say, or a public place of gathering. And if it's owned by a private business, they have the right to take off or not to serve people that they find to be that they disagree with, right? I mean, I guess so.
Apparently, the German law stipulates that any comment inciting violence against ethnic or religious groups is punishable by up to 3 years in prison.
And Germany too, obviously, with their history of involvement in World War II and the Nazi Party, obviously they hold a grudge against those types of things. Of course, they would be the first to do that.
Yep.
They would very much welcome that part of their history to basically go away so much. But I like their approach to it. They ensure that it will never happen again. They sometimes are a little bit harsh in that, but they're, I think, well intentioned. They just need to smile more.
That will solve it all.
Yeah, I think so. Once you keep a frown on your face for long periods of time, it eventually becomes a permanent fixture of you, and you lose your face's ability to express a wider range of emotion. And I think that sort of.
If you're frowning all the time, you're not going to need to express much more emotion.
Yeah, you're probably exhausted. It's probably exhausted. Yeah.
And not to mention, it takes more muscles to frown than smile, so isn't frowning the better exercise?
Yeah, but isn't that like sort of in line with you whipping yourself to cleanse your soul or something,
No, it's not.
Oh. Okay.
I learned something interesting yesterday from one of the Reddit. Today I learned, I don't know if it's true or not, but it said that in the Marvel universe, well, actually I'll ask y'all. In the Marvel universe, what do you think the most powerful mutant ever discovered by Cerebrus was? And that's that machine that Xavier uses to find.
I'm not the best person to answer this because I was
the time of the season. I'll give you that hint.
Oh, it's.
Are you talking about an actual mutant, or are you talking about something different? I mean, just something with special capabilities.
Apparently, from what I understand, Santa Claus is a mutant in the Marvel universe, and he's one of the most powerful ones discovered by Cerebrus.
Huh?
I thought it was Cerebro.
Well, see, there are some omnipotent beings in there that, I mean, just not like, you know.
Or Cerebros. Maybe
Hey,
there's multiple Cerebros.
no one's in the chat, and we're not talking about anything good in tech on our stuff, by the way. But I see we have viewers, so I just wanted to throw out there that you can hop in the chat, irc.foolishit.com, colon 443. With your favorite IRC client, go to foolishtechshow.com and just click the link. We have a web-based client there as well. And you can chat with us on the show right now. We're here to talk about your topics with our software or anything else tech, because that's what we're going to talk about right now, if you don't have any questions.
And if When 10 Blows out is out there, please let me know. I'm sorry I missed you before. If you had any questions or were just curious about our software, we would love to chat with you, about it. And yeah, I think we can have a good discussion, and maybe you can enlighten us on why you feel that way about Win 10. We're not necessarily all fans of it here, but we value opinions, and oftentimes one tech's opinion is shared by lots of techs. So please bring it on.
I'm fans of it. I like Windows 10.
Well, we all have our own opinions, that's what we're all entitled to with that, but when 10 Blows, just maybe based upon his name there, doesn't, and if he doesn't, that doesn't mean we want to segregate him from our discussions or conversations.
Hey, that worked.
You don't agree with us. Yes, just because you don't agree with us does not mean we don't want to hear what you have to say. But I'm sure our listeners don't want to hear dead air either.
Here, I got something else. Another molten aluminum.
Oh.
Aluminum.
They already came up with transparent aluminum, right? So what's molten aluminum? What has it got for us?
Have you not seen it? It's this guy that goes through and adds molten, like he melts molten metal is when you melt metal. But he adds molten aluminum. Well, you said what is molten aluminum?
It's aluminium, okay?
No, it's not. It's aluminum.
It's aluminium. I prefer aluminium.
Anyway,
it's appropriate.
He goes through and he puts it in stuff. So like, there's one of him putting it in a watermelon and an anthill, and this one it's versing spitballs. I don't know what that is, but I put the link in the chat so you can check it out.
Oh, that does look interesting. I don't have the time to vet it and view it all here, but right now. But that's science-based, right? So science, right?
Aluminum does really cool things. So.
Yeah, all the elements have their very particular nice properties that we continue to explore and develop. Material science is a great area. They've come up with some crazy stuff. Particularly a big fan of hydrophobic material sciences, superconducting materials, and other interesting.
So what that is basically it's like the gel water. So like, it's not water really. It's just like gel-ish water. And he puts it in there.
Okay, actually, that's not gonna get win you any Nobel prizes. That little speech just then, but.
Yeah. But it actually, some of the designs it made were probably the coolest that I've seen from the stuff he's made. So that's pretty sweet looking.
Awesome, yeah, it
does weird stuff.
Yeah. It's nice to explore these, and remember, they're coming up, and this is like everybody says, oh, can't find something new, there's nothing new out there anymore. Well, yes, there are. These materials that 3M and other corporations that they've developed didn't exist 10, 15, 20 years ago. So there's real progress being made in these areas.
Real progress.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got more viewers now, and that person left the chat. That's sad. If you are watching out on YouTube or Google+, join us at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com/live. And ask us questions, talk directly to us. Someone is baking something right now, apparently.
I'm sorry.
You and your squash or whatever it was. So something else interesting, the LHC might have found a new, bigger Higgs-Boson's particle.
Oh my God, your pronunciation is horrific. But Higgs boson.
Boston particle.
There's no Boston particle, but wouldn't it be great? I love Boston. Great band.
That's also a city.
Let's see. This is right up my alley. I do, in my spare time, study particle
Science.
and other and cosmology, theoretical physics, and such. Science in general, yes.
Jeez, how come I'm the only one videoing? I'm going to turn everybody's video on.
I think I would have to close the Hangout and come back into it.
Oh no, you can't do that either because you're
Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah.
So another one out there is apparently Microsoft is developing an app to mimic Minority Report without the precogs. An app that can predict the crimes of the future.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about this crap, and it's somewhat disturbing sometimes, but it's not, honestly, it's not a lot different.
I actually saw a DEF CON talk about them already having that in areas using.
Yeah, this is the only way, and this is what Carly Fiorina was talking about last night. This is the only way to basically monitor the massive amounts of data that we have. There's not enough manpower available to our government to make something like what we would need in place to improve national security in the ways that so many people are screaming to do so now. And so, this is a solution, but the problem is, what percentage level is, there's always it's never going to be perfect, and that opens up, I'm sure, a whole slew of potential legal issues, and if somebody is pre-radicalized, let's say, can you be 100% certain that they will, follow through and act out? I mean, everybody potentially has thoughts at times of crimes or makes a ranting statement in a drunken whatever, and it doesn't necessarily indicate things. But
the thing that I was watching on that DEF CON talk was basically it was software that analyzed suspicious behavior. So like if you went and took your laptop and kept looking around suspiciously around everywhere, it would alert the authorities and send them to.
Oh, well, what's considered to be suspicious? I mean, if I'm just walking around in circles, maybe I'm having a bad day and pacing back and forth, or that could be me stalking somebody, or that could be me having a bad day.
That would be suspicious.
Okay.
Anything out of normal activity.
Yeah, well, what's normal? When we have a
person.
Government enforcing what's normal,
Well,
if I decide I want to...
Michael, I understand that probably is
normal?
a little bit outside of your knowledge base, but there is such a thing as normal, and walking around in circles on a sidewalk would probably be...
I'll walk around in circles if I want to. I do not need a government breathing on my neck because I decide
that might be a little less.
What if I just was? What if there was no way for me to get
normal.
exercise, and I was just circling around my building on my lunch hour at work just to get exercise?
That probably wouldn't be suspicious, but if you're just on a sidewalk circling around.
But again, these algorithms have to be incredibly advanced in order to glean that specific data. It's okay to perceive general trends and things like that, but when you're talking about the specifics that would be necessary to carry out a court order to take things further, that's the other thing too. Since it's not a program that's been announced or reviewed by any Senate committees or anything like that, or congressional committees or anything, then we don't know what they consider as normal. And that was one of the things in the DEF CON talks. They were trying to figure out what would alert these systems, because it was revealed in the Snowden docs, I think they said, that these systems did exist and they didn't know what they did or what they were looking for, so they tried to go do suspicious things in view of cameras that they knew about to see if they got authorities called on them with no reason. Well, but aren't there also people that have gone and done these types of things and then ended up on the terrorist watch list?
No doubt. But I'm pretty sure giving a DEF CON talk puts you on that list anyway.
Yeah, I guess. I bet. I don't know. It's a fine balance line compromise.
What were you going to say, Proctor?
Oh, I was going to say that the software seems like an invasion of privacy to monitor someone's behavior
constantly. I mean, yeah, I mean that's akin to getting somebody mental health assistance without their.
I mean, if you're just talking about observing someone who's out in the public, then that wouldn't be necessarily an invasion of privacy. But I was thinking you were talking about tracking people's laptops and.
No, it's just using public cameras. Public.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and then you need something like the CCTV, like they have in Britain. They have so many of those cameras, and you just posted a map the other day, I believe, with an example.
Yeah, we have those.
Yeah, we have those. I know, but what I'm saying is, it's also as the rest of the world knows that it's very prevalent in Britain. Almost like there's not a single place in London I think you can go without a camera being on you. It's increasing. It's a little creepy. It's a little creepy, but definitely taking that beyond. Who's to say? I mean, first of all, we have the GPSs on our devices. They can show movements. They could watch everybody. But it's the volume of data. They have no way to follow through on any of it unless they have a higher degree of certainty of the intent of those things, as opposed to just following up on somebody who's just texting bullshit back and forth between two kids. Well,
I mean, if you're walking around with a bag of spray paint and looking around for people, kind of things. And
what if I wanted to go buy spray paint and I was an artist and I was coming back from the shop and looking at some art that was maybe done on a wall because I wanted to mimic it inside my studio? I mean,
well, what he's talking about, Michael, is no different than a police officer just being on a street corner, observing you doing something suspicious and coming over and being like, "Hey, what's up?"
No, yeah. not if it's through mass surveillance, which is what this seems to be.
Why is that any different?
But the mass surveillance does not violate your privacy rights.
It does if they can surveil me in my own home.
I can set up a camera in public and record you in public all day long.
No, but in public, I understand the public part of this.
But you can take your laptop home.
You can take your laptop home.
Where does that fit into any of this conversation that we're talking about?
Because these devices you're talking about tracking, the technology actually being used to track, who's to say it ends when you walk off the street? How could it end when you just walk off the street? Otherwise, it would be thorough enough to.
What we're specifically talking about, though, is the camera monitoring. And that's what this program did, is it monitored specific
the camera monitoring
activity on video feeds and alerted to suspicious.
And those video feeds don't include every webcam in existence?
Obviously not. How are they going to access my webcams through my firewall?
I don't know.
If you have your webcam public, I'm sure they are tracking it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just wondering that if going down this line that you're considering here is going to who's to say when they stop that? And I know right now it sounds like it's a well-defined thing, but I sort of think that Britain's going a little, so their monitoring is a little intense. I would not like to see that level here. And it's already starting to look like that here in a lot of places. So
why is it bad that they can? I mean, it's like having a cop on every corner.
No, it's not. It's not.
Why?
Because the camera can't help you if you need it.
Because the cop isn't. There isn't a person analyzing this data. Because there isn't a person analyzing this data. There's an algorithm analyzing this data, and unless that algorithm is perfectly abides by.
Well, the algorithm, Michael, is not going to come and arrest you. What's going to happen is the program is going to alert the authorities that there is a suspicious person at a particular location. They're going to dispatch a police officer to go investigate it. Then that officer is going to talk to you and figure out if you're doing something.
Yeah. But then that gets back to the same problem. There's not. But that's the whole problem. There's not enough manpower to make that happen for every weird behavior that we see. Do you know how many people mention the words that you might associate with terrorism? Like our conversation right now has enough words in it that it's probably flagging things if they happen to be looking. Just and we're obviously not terrorists. Look.
That's what a terrorist would say, Michael.
Yeah. That's exactly what terrorists say.
All right, guys.
They definitely don't say, join our terrorist group.
I just believe that we need to balance our.
What are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm just going to terrorize.
Well, I'm also sure that the police don't want to be called out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry who's walking up the street funny.
Yeah.
They don't want to waste their time. If the software's not good, they're not going to continue to use it.
Yeah.
They're going to refine it more likely.
Yeah.
But
I guess. I don't know. Maybe the question is, do we trust Microsoft to be providing this solution, or who do we trust to provide this type of solution? If Google came up with it, would you trust it? If who would need to back it too?
I think the public review is the part where we would be able to trust it. That's the problem with the one right now, is that there is no public review on it. It just was.
Yeah,
enacted.
but what about the arguments that the public review would, if everybody is aware of it, then everybody can, work around it, and then so it's not an effective tool. It doesn't do anything if.
I mean, everyone's aware of the laws. People know about the laws. That's not how that.
No, but it's.
I mean,
it's like if you break into if you break into houses and there's a new locker, new security mechanism, and you're aware of it, you can circumvent it. But you can't if you don't know about it to circumvent it. And so that's what I'm saying. The public.
Then how did the person that got the new lock or whatever find out about it? On the special we don't sell these to criminals list?
Well, they would advertise it as being improved, but they wouldn't say in what specific manner it were improved. They would say, oh, we're Briggs Home Security, and we've got this improved system, and it's got our magic sauce in it, and it keeps you safer. Here you go.
Well, so what you're saying is that because of having public review, the security flaws would be well known. Why is that a bad thing? Because what you're saying there is that they're not going to allow public review because they know that there's problems with it and that it can be worked around.
What? But the
So,
the workaround is that
here's our new and improved lock that doesn't really work, but if they don't know it doesn't work, then it works really well.
yeah, okay, I'm in agreement with you on that. Yeah, that's a good analogy, I suppose. You're right.
That's
I
why
guess this is
open
always a
source
balance, but
works.
yeah,
Guys, I think this is interesting though.
I'm a big supporter
let's
of
see here.
open source. Go ahead.
The person in this article said the software is similar to what Microsoft is doing with Halo games in its Xbox console when it predicts how a user is going to react to the game based on how they've responded in previous similar situations. I think it's pretty cool that technology that's in a game is actually being adapted to a real-world application. That's pretty cool.
That is.
Well, especially since there's been some
Must be a
also
pretty dang
talk
good
about some extremists using PS4's voice chats and things like that to communicate a different avenue that maybe isn't as well monitored as other avenues potentially.
Oh, geez. Can you imagine having to monitor the PS4 chats?
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I do find that extremely interesting. Thank you for sharing that, Matthew.
Hey, we got a lot more viewers. If you're out there watching from YouTube or from Google Plus, join us at foolishtechshow.com or foolishit.com. Jump in our IRC chat. You can ask us questions about our software or get support, or you can join in on our privacy conversation here and add in your own 2 cents or 4 cents or 8 cents or 12 cents.
You all know my position. I'm a little bit more. I take privacy as a last. I think it's in danger of dying, and we're losing any privacy that we may have, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Hey, I'd love it if we could just, all walk around nude and not worry about anything. But I also believe that a certain amount of privacy is an integral part of human nature. So. Or the ability to gain it at least for short periods of time.
Do you really consider clothes as a privacy method?
Warmth. I mean, I like the utility of it as well, but.
But like, you basically were thinking that like, if we got rid of privacy, then we wouldn't need clothes anymore.
Well, yeah, okay, maybe. But I mean, the constant monitor. Well,
it's not just privacy; it's a matter of courtesy to others.
Yeah, that too. There's a lot of places that I don't want to see it.
Oh, I guess I should have never went to those nude beaches over there.
That's why nude beaches are a double-edged sword there.
Yeah,
I know. You tell me.
You ain't gonna see a ton of models on nude beaches. I'll tell you that much.
Most of them are. Well, in Capri, actually, we were in Capri, so I would say that they were probably a little bit a little bit better because it's expensive, and so it's a lot of rich people go there. But the average person is just that, the average person, and there was certainly some things that were just I'm not used to seeing from, we don't do that much here in this country, but it was a liberating experience to some extent. I'm not, anxious. I found myself a little bit more prudish than I would have initially expected, but then there was also in the back of my mind, well, I need not think.
I mean, that's why you don't also have kids like going enjoying nude colonies or whatever those are called.
Well, I mean, you do have they nudists raise their kids in their own communes. And,
no, I'm saying like you don't have a bunch of teenagers going and joining the.
Well, I would think that they would have to have some
then
sort
they'll
of.
be like extremely disappointed in what they were expecting. Like they're not walking into a Playboy club. Like
oh well, no, it's never like that. I actually have a couple or a friend. Well, no, not a couple. One friend that went to something like that and said, and a boy showed up apparently. So, and it was all female, like women, feminist camp or something like that.
Well, back to the software here. I think we should always be careful when, if we're going to use software in a way that's going to affect people's lives. But the software is talking about using the software to predict whether an inmate will be a repeat offender.
Oh, okay.
That would be, that's a very good use of it if it's accurate.
If that's the way it's
you're trying to
be
determine if you should let someone out on early release or parole or whatever.
That's much better. I can swallow that even, and I'm.
If you can use the software to determine that someone is probably extremely likely to commit a crime, you could keep them in prison and possibly prevent another victim.
Yeah, that's a good use, but
I
again,
think it also needs a lot of human review too,
out. Yeah,
along with the software, so that there's ensure that it's reviewed and working properly.
Yeah. I mean the inmates.
Hey, we got CompDoc in the IRC.
Oh,
Hi, CompDoc.
Welcome. In.
How's it going? Do you have any opinion on the issues of debate? I'm not even sure what they are now. We've gotten it so diluted. We were talking about the Microsoft coming up with the Minority Report-like app to predict future crimes, and it's based off gaming technology from their Halo setup.
Yeah, they don't see if they join the chat after, they don't see the previous links. So,
yeah, you can repaste it for them if you like.
Yeah, so this was the one that Brantley just was talking about.
Our links will show up on the descriptions of the YouTube when we post them to our YouTube channel, so you can check back there later for them if you need as well. Or you can just Google search them. They're pretty much going to be the top results because that's what's trending right now is what we're normally talking about. That was something.
To discuss any of our products, CompDoc, we're more than willing to do that as well.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or anything we could help you with.
Hey, so Proctor, I'm looking at the preview of the show, and it does look like when you stretch that screen capture thing, it did just stretch it out. It didn't increase the quality of it any, so it is kind of pixelated and dilated. So we might need to play around with that software some more.
Yeah, I think the actual area that I selected was less than 720 tall.
That might be it. But it ended up being a really small little square in the bottom right.
Yeah, it didn't do that yesterday. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, I think you have to select a section and then add it, or move it and then resize it. I don't know. That's where that software gets complicated. We'll play around with it more. Sorry about the quality of video, people, but everyone else has their video turned off, so it doesn't matter. And we probably won't be sharing any desktop screens unless we have some questions. Yeah, well, actually, on this whole debate here, there was something interesting in that Black Mirror Christmas special as well, which Black Mirror is a show, you can watch it on Netflix if you have that. They don't have the Christmas special on there, but they do have the 2 seasons of 6 episodes there. And it's basically like a Twilight type show based on modern technology style, so it's really interesting. I really enjoyed it. But in the Christmas special, one of the
Do you have a link for any of that?
Netflix search box is up in the top right. You type in Black Mirror
I don't link to Netflix. It's only IMDb. I'll do it.
IMDb.
Stop.
I think that's the wrong place you want to look up.
And it's called Black Mass?
No, Black Mirror.
Mirror.
Black Mass is the movie about the gangster with Johnny Depp. Which that was pretty good too. I saw that.
Hey, CompDoc does have a question. Wants to know if we can give him a quick rundown of the changes to dSS. Looking forward to updating it and deploying it along with Crypto Prevent to my business clients.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's actually what Nick thought a lot of people would do, is just work and listen to us in the background. So awesome that you are doing that. And for dSS, what we have planned is we're going to do a major overhaul on the interface, make it a lot easier to set up groups and manage your clients and deployments, as well as integrate Crypto Prevent into the software so that you can use that as a centralized deployment option, and be able to adjust settings en masse to all of the clients you have it deployed to, or selectively to groups of clients you have it deployed to, depending on their situations and cases. Otherwise, there's also going to be some updates on the maintenance side, bringing in the upcoming d7x technology that Nick is working away feverishly on, probably right now, while he's muted and video off there. But there are a lot of changes coming up to it. We haven't got all of them even worked out completely, but that's the basis of them, is integrating Crypto Prevent into it, overhauling the interface to make it more user-friendly and even better for actually managing your clients and seeing the deployment statuses, and then also being able to use it as a console to manage and maintain your deployments of Crypto Prevent out there. Give me 1 second here. I'll give you a link to the drawing board, which you can look this, and we don't have some of the integration stuff on the drawing board here yet, but I'll post a link in the IRC here, and that's to our drawing board. And basically, once we get ideas kind of concreted, then we'll add them into there and try to continue to add to it as time goes on. But basically, you can just kind of review it. It's a OneNote notebook, so it's divided into sections, and you can look up the different things there. But a lot of it right now is kind of based on the d7x and d7.2 section that's Nick's working the most on. Some of the concepts for dSupport Suite and where we want to take it are in there. Currently, we're working on Crypto Prevent 8, which we're in the testing and bug fixing phase of it right now, so it'll be soon to be released after we get out of that and make sure everything's working top notch for everyone. And Nick is working on the first module of Kill 'em All, which is the first module of d7x. But at the same time, he's also building the base and the back end for d7x. So once he finishes Kill 'em All, it will be a fairly quick transition to implement those features into d7.2 and upgrade it to d7x. And then we'll be taking both of those and combining them into dSupport Suite. So the upgrade and changes coming to dSupport Suite probably are not just right around the corner, but considering what we're working on now being integrated into it, it'll be well worth the wait, we feel, and you'll have a lot better use of it and feature for it. So D7X is a total rewrite and code review. Some things don't have to be rewritten, but he is going through, and I convinced him basically to do a line-by-line check of all of the code in D7.2. So he's going through and doing that, and if he sees anything missing or that he's learned can be done better, he's going through and rewriting those sections, plus some of the concepts that he has for it are going to require a rewrite for some of the underlying systems. So the GUI interface will definitely be overhauled, and there is a lot of rewrite going on. So not a total rewrite, but it is a total code review and then massive rewrite and GUI update. He has quite a lot of good ideas coming for that, and he has a lot of it implemented already, and you'll see some of it with the Kill 'Em All release, which he was working on the finishing touches of. So we'll have to check in with him later and see where we're at with that. I think I just have to test it again, which the last test build I had was pretty much top-notch. I didn't really see any issues with it. He actually caught something that he didn't like and is working on that a little bit more. So, thank you for your excellent questions, though. We very much appreciate that. Michael actually had this similar question and was wondering where we had talked about all this, and now he knows, if he's still paying attention.
Yes, I certainly am, and I wanted to reiterate that that was a very good question, and we welcome more like that. And if you could continually, if you're in doubt or want to know, voice it here, and we'll try to add some notes to it. So if you missed the show and you want to come back and look, we'll hopefully start to reference when we talk about future products in the metadata for that.
CompDoc asks if Kill 'Em All is a Metallica reference, and it half is, half isn't. It half isn't in the fact that Metallica viciously sues everybody that references them, so it's not at all. But and other half, it is kind of, because they do have an album like that, but it was more focused on what the software actually does, which is kill them all.
Kills,
all processes running.
We like our software's names to have immediate, you understand generally what it does. Unfortunately, with D7, it does so much it would be impossible to fit all that into the title. But I think, as most of you know, our other product names typically explain what they do, and that's no different with Kill 'Em All.
Well, that's awesome. He saw the tour for the Kill 'Em All album.
Awesome.
I have not seen Metallica in concert. I'm actually jealous of that.
I've seen them twice.
Yeah,
Hank, give us your perception of it. Give us a rundown of one of these concerts that you went to. Your experience, your take.
Metallica was my first big show, anyways. When I was 18, and my first impression was my drunken grandfather got escorted out by police before anything ever started. That was funny. He comes sliding down the handrail down the middle of the thing. Old guy, great big old gray beard. But it was Corrosion of Conformity and Metallica. It was a fun time. It was a general heavy metal concert.
For others like Brantley who have not been and attended, I know you just gave a really good example of something you might say, but could you, Brantley's been to obviously lots of other concerts. Can you maybe give him a point of comparison?
I know what a Metallica concert is like.
Oh, okay.
It's not that hard.
See, there's this group of guys, and they get together and play music. And
they're on like a stage.
And they're on a stage, and what happens is, it's heavy metal.
Speakers.
It's really loud.
And it's really loud. No shit, huh?
A lot of drum, a lot of guitar.
There's some bass in there. You know,
Wow.
vocalizing.
Never
Lots of
guessed.
cursing
There is cursing involved, so.
and drinking.
Oh, so it's not a child or family friendly environment?
I don't know. There's kids there.
Just to throw it out there, Nick is in the chat and set a secret in there. So if you want to check out that secret, jump over to foolishtechshow.com. You can jump in the IRC chat and maybe he'll repeat it since you won't be able to see it since you joined after it, but maybe not.
What?
Anyway.
No, he's. Yeah, he should see it.
No, CompDoc will see it, but if anyone joins from now.
Oh yeah, now.
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm assuming since you said that, Nick, you heard everything I discussed. Did you have anything else you wanted to add on the?
I wasn't able to. I missed a whole lot. I didn't hear you talking about that.
Well, it was the basic rundown, I guess. If you have anything new or feature specific you'd like to say about dSupport Suite or d7x, I'm sure they wouldn't mind hearing your direct take on it, even if it's repeating what I said.
No, I don't know what you said.
So that's why it doesn't matter. Just say it again.
Oh.
Just give us your take on it.
My take on it. It's tough work.
Your take on the upcoming features that will be included on dSS.
Rockin'. On dSS?
Yeah.
Rockin'?
Maybe like some of the specific features.
No.
Worded out. No. Okay.
Mm-mm. I'm burned out. I'm burned out on. I haven't thought about dSS. I'll be honest. I haven't thought about dSS. I mean, we hashed out a ton of things that we have notes on, and I don't know what we want to publicly discuss and what we don't.
Well, I put the link to the drawing board out there, and that's things that we.
Yeah, there's like nothing on that.
Well, there's a lot of the.
I mean, there's something, but
the client handling and grouping and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I've been pouring all of my effort for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks on what I thought was going to be out weeks ago as the Kill 'Em All Free release.
Yep.
The first code on d7x technology. It's a task. It's a real task. Doing it the right way and knowing not only like what's going on and it's just there's everything constantly evolves. I mean, there are different methods to do something. Every time Microsoft throws out an update to something, there's something new for us as coders, and there's something new to learn, there's something new to do, and because of security hazards and older things that malicious software users have used and stuff like that, techniques to accomplish various things, then they change it and limit it and do other things, and then you've got to do other things to update yourself and do even more work and spend a lot more time because to accomplish the same task. It's just, but it's cool, man. Everything's coming along. I actually just, I finished an update to my last build about 20 or 30 minutes before the meeting this morning, I think it was.
Is it ready for testing in the F drive?
Oh, no, I haven't even compiled it.
Oh.
I finished it. I didn't compile it. I didn't do all my things to it. I'm still going over it because I looked at it and I was like, I thought I fixed what I did, but I didn't even want to test it because as things go, I actually picked up something or re-picked up something and just thought it would be better to just check everything over one more time with this new thing that I was thinking about in mind, and make sure that there weren't other things that I could do before making this release. But the only thing I've actually had trouble with was the one little issue with my update code, that it doesn't. It does do the update just fine. It doesn't actually replace the old executable. It downloads and it puts the new executable in the folder with like the version number as part of the file name, but it doesn't get rid of the old executable and restart itself. And I believe, like I said, I believe I fixed that. I noticed something while I was doing that made me want to look over everything else again.
Okay.
So
This is one of the reasons why we also like for people to join us on these things, because they can hear kind of our real-time progress and updates, and that may change the release schedule a little bit, but I think ultimately it's showing how much we invest into our software and how much we consider your use of it. We don't want to waste your time, and we want it to be as good as it can be, out the gate. And we're striving very hard to do that, and it's coming along very well with it.
Hey, before we lose viewers, though, I don't want to go into too much about the code, but and about the features in specific. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, not that I don't even remember them all that we've had ideas for at the moment. I've actually drawn out detailed plans for some things and even little bits of code, but that I haven't put together. But I've forgotten about them completely working on this D7X thing. What I do want to say about those features is that they're going to revolve around a whole lot of new technology that we're working on with the D7X stuff. A lot of things that we've adopted to and learned in the last year or so as we're rebuilding these new versions of these products, and even before, which gave us the inspiration to do a lot of this. And some of these things like, all right, well, a lot of our software right now, like the D-Support Suite, works with FTP. FTP. And it's not even secure FTP, although the data being transferred is securely encrypted in an archive file. There's never anything transferred outside of an encrypted archive file. Nothing identifiable, but it's an email that does use SSL or TLS. I think it's supported. Is TLS supported now? If not, it will be.
Not in dSS, but in CryptoPrevent and
Well, now we have knowledges of SSLs and TLSs and things, and we have what I want to do with dSupport Suite and CryptoPrevent as a combined product is basically there's still the server component that you would use with the management console. Of course, I want the management console to sit on the server. And if you don't want to roll your own, I want to actually have an AMI from Amazon, like an EC2 AMI image that you can just copy to your own Amazon account and fire it up and plug in your product key and your details and be done. And no setup in any of that junk. But it's not going to be FTP either. It'll be like HTTPS or something. We're going to work towards that. That's what the redesign is. The client management infrastructure is the other issue that is one of the first ones that we're tackling. The client management infrastructure and the last area that is really one of the most important things on my mind still, which relates back to what dSupport Suite was before when it was just dSupport, is getting that branding in front of the customer's face. So, and again, a lot of this is coming from new code that I'm getting as I'm developing with D7X. And I'm just going to like copy it right on over. And a lot of this stuff is going to be related to finding issues and bringing that to the attention of the customer with your branding, getting that to your attention and letting you actually manage them instead of getting emails about it all the time. Which
That will definitely be nice.
This email thing is, the emails I'm sure are out of control for some people. And it's time that we had a web management interface, which, as far as a web management interface, that's still, but what we want to do now is at least do like a server where you can log into and then manage, and you can deploy that server. You only need one, and you can deploy that server from our copy and then just configure it. Just a few minutes, get started. But so there you have it.
Also,
oh, and pushing. The other thing that I really dig that I don't mind mentioning is actually pushing commands to the remote computers. But that'll be a topic for another time.
Awesome.
Well,
I think that is kind of what they were looking to hear.
Oh.
And Tom
but yes,
says
a lot. But yes,
Amazon.
the I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh yeah. He's got it. I see.
Checking out what his YouTube link is here.
Okay, yeah, let's know what that is. I just read the link. Awesome. He's got the D7.2 sub, D support suite, crypto prevent white label. That's
It's Metallica Seek and Destroy, which that's kind of what you're doing right now.
What? Seek and
Destroy.
Oh, yeah.
Seek
No,
and
wait a
Destroy
minute. I think my
issues.
quote in chat was "Hit the Lights," which should have been the first song on that album.
Stop it! You're giving
Although
me
it's been
whiplash.
It's been a long time since I listened to that. Maybe it's time to jump in the fire.
Be sure to bow to the Phantom Lord first.
Tank, you had some interesting news, didn't you? You were going to mention on the show.
Did I?
You did. You don't remember? 2020?
If you'd ever like to chat again, CompDoc, you can always give me a ring if you're not able to make the show for some reason. So.
Trying to remember, Brantley. I can't.
What happens in 2020? Idiocracy.
Oh, yes, 2020. Yes, since all the celebrities seem to be running for president in 2020, I'm making it official. Tank for president in 2020.
Oh, this is breaking news, folks. Breaking news. You heard it here first.
You got my vote, dude.
Tank is running for president.
I'm not a
You
politician.
got my vote.
I'm
I'm not a
get a
lawyer.
cabinet position.
Okay. Super PAC information will be listed here as soon as we get that together. So please, let's help make America what?
Better place.
Better place.
Better. We're going to turn the idiocracy around.
It's better with butter.
We're going to reverse the idiocracy of America.
Yes, reversing the idiocracy of America is going to be our his campaign.
Bringing back
you have to agree on it.
Bringing back what?
common sense.
There you go.
And are we going to have tank bumper stickers?
We're going to have big
possibility.
bumpers. Why just stop
we
with
could do up
bumper
like a
stickers?
foolish tank thing. You know.
We're going to have entire tank bumpers. You're going to replace your entire bumper.
Yes, get a sticker. Oh, and this is perfect because when we take
Just
off
get
their
a
own
tank.
bumper, we'll take off all their old stickers too, and so they will all be unified under your voice, Tank. But I wish you all the best with that. But I guess we'll update the folks out there on that throughout the year. It's a little bit too early to hit the campaign trail just yet, though.
Poor people got to start early. I don't have financial backing. Everybody else will.
Well, I think we should get that
I gotta
super
get the
PAC
word out. I gotta
organized.
start 4 years early.
I think we need to get that super PAC organized. At which point, I think we can we might be okay. But we got to get you to kind of go around and talk a little bit. We need to get you out there at some point. But no rush, no rush.
Yeah. All right. Well.
No, thank you, Contact. Thank you. Your contributions today have been great, and we wish you to come back every day if you could. But the burden isn't on your shoulders, of course. We encourage all of our users to come chat with us. I know they're very busy, and all of you are very busy, but we've got a lot of different times, for our shows throughout the week, and hopefully one day will fit for you. And again, as I said, there's always alternatives. We always have our forums. We always have our ticket systems. You can always email us at sales@foolishit.com. You can chat with us on our website. You can chat with us here. You can call me, and I'd love to chat, so as you guys know. So let us know. And you do get Johnny every now and then, too. She's an excellent conversationalist as well.
And as long as we're doing it on the show, I might as well mention the D7 name was after a Wipers song, The Wipers, Greg Sage's group from early punk band. Nirvana covered a couple of their songs, actually.
There you have it, folks.
D7 and
something new every day. Mm-hmm.
I capitalized on the idea that back then it was like 1980, 1979 or something. I don't know when that was released, or 81, or around that time frame maybe, I'm thinking. But the pop culture obsession with numbers in naming conventions was just getting out of control, and I thought I would capitalize on that as much as it irritated me.
Mm-mm. No harm in that. It's turned out well, I say.
I think so.
All right. Well, we are well past our hour, even including our setup time for the XSplit setup, going through the new 720p upload, because Proctor has better upload speeds than I do.
So we did address that. Wonderful. We do listen,
we did,
folks.
but we still have some things to work on for it. We gotta play around with that software.
That's the thing. We don't rest on our laurels here.
Things without Google Hangouts, because it's not reliable, like many of Google's products and services these days.
Yeah.
Well, me and Brantley discussed yesterday using our meeting software.
I know. I mean, you can do that with that. You can use whatever with XSplit. So
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
You'll lose your lower third though.
I will cry about it later.
We'll figure something out.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'll wear
otherwise, at least have the logo up in the corner.
Like it. I'm gonna wear a sign around my neck that looks just like it.
Hey.
Yeah, right. You don't have to. we don't have to go
my
high
video's
tech
not
on
working.
everything.
I got the sign.
Mm-hmm.
Let's all remember, folks, and I forget this too, that there was a point in the past where the conveniences we take for granted today weren't not around, and but listen, we try to keep pace with everything. That's why I think you guys keep coming back, and we want to make it cheap and cost effective for you and better for you. So that's why
I have to say your double negative really aggravated me there.
Really.
Weren't not there.
We're
not there.
People in the area that I live say the word "weren't" instead of "wasn't." I don't know why. I never understood it. But that is aggravating. It weren't right. Just weren't right.
Yeah, that is a good phrase, though. It just weren't right. Just weren't right.
Weren't not right.
Okay, so we're grammar Nazis, and
it's almost. It's best used when speaking of someone. That boy weren't right.
Okay. Yeah, let's go back and read some. Let's go back and read some Mark Twain and
Ah, boy, weren't right.
just anyway. Folks.
All right. Anyway, let's wrap it up here. If you missed any of the links, we'll have them in the YouTube descriptions when we post it to our YouTube channel. Always, you can join us at our foolishtechshow.com. Jump in the IRC chat anytime. Sometimes we're in there and paying attention, sometimes not, but usually we'll respond. If not, we'll at least talk about it on the show the next time we air.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, thanks CompDoc again for joining us and asking those excellent questions and giving us the opportunity to talk about them. And
I keep forgetting to do this.
Great rest of the week. Go.
Yes, everyone have a great rest of the week. But I keep forgetting to do this now that everyone's tuned out, but like one dude or something. Can I just do this to you guys before we?
Yeah.
And I want to do this is to a special supporter and contributor, Charles. Charles, you are appreciated. From your service, this is our Christmas card to. This is what I wrote to one of our good customers and early contributors and supporters. That you are appreciated from your service to the country that keeps us free. U.S. Retired MC, Sergeant something, Master, I don't know, but in U.S. Marine Corps. So I say from your service to the country that keeps us free to the long-standing and frequent support of Foolish IT and our efforts. Now each of my great staff know and appreciate your support too, because you're all here and you all know his name. And it occurred to me the other day when I wanted to send him this card that everyone here knows his name and likes him.
He is a true hero. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's crazy because he's okay. Anyway, just seeing your name reminds us that our customers can also appreciate us too. And it drives us to push on. Take care of yourself, and we all wish you a great and Merry Christmas. Thanks always, Nick. I'm going to send this to you guys to sign, and then we'll send it on to them.
Sounds
Excellent.
awesome. And
Excellent.
actually, that can go ahead and we'll apply that to all of our customers. Though you may not receive the card, you've received it in our hearts.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Otherwise,
All right.
I think we're about ready. We will see y'all tomorrow at 4 p.m. And Proctor, if you want to go ahead and hit the broadcast and check. Yes.